Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator. I got some exciting news from the CMP, the Civilian Marksmanship Program. Now some of the things that I'll touch up on here are the 1911s that they got. I've got some information about the CMP Garands that they will be making in-house. I'm gonna let you know why it's important to save the dates for the Police and Fire Games 2025. And I'll be going over the 1903s, 03A3s, and M1 Garands that are in non-fireable condition and how they'll be transforming them. All right, so first off, if you don't know, the CMP, the Civilian Marksmanship Program, nonprofit organization that specializes in youth marksmanship training. Well, they got to make money. So how do they do that? Well, they work with the U.S. government to provide surplus weapons at a very cheap cost to civilians in the U.S. If you meet the requirements, which you can go on the cmp.org and check them out to see what is all needed, you can actually get yourself some surplus weapons that were used by the U.S. military. And one of those weapons that they've been providing for the last few years has been the M1911s and M1911A1s. These M1911s, they're only available through mail order. They only allow 2 per lifetime, so you can only get up to 2 per lifetime. Well, they've recently stated that they are now upping that. They are now allowing people to get up to 4 1911s per lifetime. But they're currently only available for mail order. So if you go to their stores, you won't be able to get one yet, but you can get a Texas M1911A1. It's pretty much a new production copy of the M1911. If you're looking just to mail order a surplus one and then pick up something you can just take to the range all the time, probably look at getting you a Texas CMP 1911. All right, definitely got to save the date here for the Police and Fire Games in 2025. This is the first time that the World Championship Police and Fire Games will be held in Alabama. That's right, it's a world competition, Olympic style, with there's all kinds of shooting sports and everything involved that will be held in Alabama. Now the Talladega Marksmanship Park will be hosting some of those events, and so the stores will be open, but the ranges will be closed. The ranges will only be available to those participating in the competition. So just keep that in mind. It's June 27th to July 6th. During that time frame, you won't be able to use the ranges, but you'll be able to go to the stores. And why is that important? Well, usually right before there's a huge big event, you always see the CMP stock up on all kinds of stuff in the stores. They make sure that all the racks are full with all kinds of goodies, M1 Garands, 1903s, 1917s. They might even come back with some Krags that they've been holding on to. So you just never know what you're going to find in the store. And you can spectate the Police and Fire Games. So if you go there, you go to the stores, the South store and the Talladega store, and then you might as well see what they got, try to pick up some stuff that you've been wanting, and then maybe check out the Police and Fire Games and see what all that's about. All right, so now let's go over something that I saw the CMP post on their Instagram. And if you haven't seen it, go check out the CMP on their Instagram or their Facebook page, because this is actually really interesting. I'm going to show a picture of it right here. This is a new production M1 Garand. The CMP showcased this M1 Garand at one of their events, and they didn't really talk about it much, and they haven't put any actual announcements out yet. But it seems like they've partnered with some kind of company to provide new production M1 Garands. Now, of course, this looks a little rough, and honestly, I'm sure that they're refining some things before they actually release these. So this, be it considered, is probably a prototype. And as far as I know, they are testing these out and refining them so that they'll be 100% good to go when they release them in stores. So it seems like this year sometime they'll probably put out an announcement. And price-wise, I just have no idea because it's new production, so we don't know yet. All right, and the last thing I've got to talk about here is the 1903s, 03A3s, and M1 Garands that are surplus. They were left for dead. They were converted to drill rifles that the CMP is gonna take from a non-firing condition and make them fireable again. We haven't really got an announcement yet on how they'll be doing this, but my guess is that they're probably gonna have them in stores or even through mail order. So right now, if you went to the CMP forums, you'll probably notice that there's not a lot of 1903s or 03A3s. It's very rare that the stores will get one now, and they might even only have one. They might have maybe a few. They have a lot of 1917s and they have a lot of M1 Garands. And by the way, I'm going to the CMP forums to look at see what the inventory is. It's the only way you can see the inventory. As of recent, you have to have an account in order to log into the CMP forums to see all the forum topics. So definitely go create you an account, go on the CMP forums and read and get some information and gather some intel. It's great for us that live hours and hours away from the CMP to go in and look at the forums and figure out what there is and what kind of inventory they have. And so that way when we take a trip over there, we're not just wasting our time going there when we wanted, let's say, a 1917 and they just haven't put a batch out yet of 1917s and the old batch had run out. But definitely check out the CMP forums, make an account, and get that information so that you know what you're gonna get. Now, going back to the 1903s, they're just not getting a lot of them right now. And it seems like they're gonna take a lot of these drill rifles and turn them into actual fireable rifles that they can now put in their stores. So I think it's a very good thing. And if they do it safely and properly, then there should not be an issue. So stay tuned for that. We haven't got an announcement when they'll happen, but just know that it is going to happen. All right, well, that seems to be it for the video. If you're going to the CMP, let me know in the comment section what you're planning to get, maybe when you're planning to go. I know personally, I want to go to the CMP again. I want to see what they got. It seems pretty awesome, and I don't know when I'll be going, but I do know that I want to go, and sometime soon. If you like this kind of content, be sure to check out the merchandise link in the description. Be sure to get yourself a Battlefield Curator t-shirt, hoodie, or even a jacket. Help support the channel. Definitely appreciate it. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Pulverize the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Make it a great day.